Some of y'all might remember, but if you old enough, if you know my age and maybe a few years younger or older by 10 years, you might remember this debate going on back in the '80s about which is more realistic, Good Times or Cosby Show. And when I hear people do that, I say y'all do know those are TV shows. Those are scripted TV shows. There's gonna be some exaggerations on both part, but I said they give a reflection of black life. Every black person that grew up in a housing project. I didn't grow up in a housing project. I grew up either in an apartment or a home. But I spent most of my life in a home. My father didn't yell like James Evans did. Now he got in the ass when he had to. My mother wasn't a Bible thumper like Florida Evans. My mother, father wasn't professionals like uh, uh, white collar professionals. I mean, like Claire and Heathcliff Huxtable. My father wasn't at times slow witted or that kind of thing. My mother didn't have that neck rolling thing, that finger wagging thing that Felicia Rashad started to do. Most black women started to do in the '80s. Go back and watch the Cosby Show. she in on different world started that neck rolling, finger wagging shit. But anyways, there's some truth to those stories. You know, everybody in the predominantly black community didn't have a rough childhood. There were fathers in the home. I think I'm thinking back to kindergarten all the way up to my graduation out of high school. I saw fathers, and to this day, I still see fathers in the community. But that's a group of black folk that resented the fact that either the fathers was around in life or the fathers were more active. And some people who didn't have fathers in life, they glammed onto the Cosby Show because a lot of people can't separate fact from fiction. So DL fathers probably in his life, but probably didn't do much of shit. And I think that's one of the reasons why cats like DL Hughes, was initially shitting on the Cosby Show. If you go back and look at their routines from way back in the early days, everybody took pot shots at the Cosby Show. It got to the point in the black community, people call you the Huxtables. That wasn't a compliment. That was an insult. I remember when I was a kid, they would say y'all like the Huxtables, and or y'all like Family Matters, and I'm sitting there like, huh? And then I realized it wasn't in a positive. I'm like, why are you slamming us? You think you bad? How your daddy around? I never thought that. I never went around. If a teacher say, "Hey, your mom," I said, "My parents," or your mama said, "No, my father showed me how to do it." And I think some kids got mad at that. And then when we went on trips, me and other friends, our fathers was a part. We was the scouts. Our fathers used to help us build our cars. We had the little soapbox, the derbies and stuff. We used to race cars and shit. We had the bake offs. If my father could do it, my mother slide in, but usually it was me, my father, me, and my brother. Um, my mother, when my father's away at summer camp, my mother would slide in and show us things. They would that's a team, and a lot of kids resent that. And then my parents were young, and so people don't like that shit. So people get bitter, and in our community, we latch on to negative images. And that's why I see cats like D.L. Hughley and them for years been throwing shade at Cosby. And when Cosby started getting accused of shit, people started like, we finna go after this old man. Cats like D.L. Hughley said, okay, this is my turn. If y'all don't believe me, type in the negative reaction to Cosby back in the 1980s. There was articles written about Cosby. There were white people writing articles about, oh, the Cosby Show is not realistic. Even after a while, I started to believe that shit that the Cosby Show is not being realistic. They don't talk about race, but then when I got older, I realized why Bill Cosby didn't do it because he knew that was a flagship show. He knew the moment he went too hard on it, people start watching it. Even black folk. So he had to subtle ways. If you watch certain episodes, he talked about it without talking about it. He used a spin-off show to go in on it because it was a younger audience. He said you can do things with a younger audience you can't do with an already set in their ways older audience. So as you get older, you appreciate those things more. But Cosby opened a lot of doors for a lot of people. He spent money that he had to spend with people. But the moment they brought up something that he thought was taken care of years ago, literally overnight, we saw people come out and cut his throat. But D.L. Hughley and Charlamagne the God and Kenan Thompson, Hannibal Buress, Michael Eric Dyson, Erica Alexander, uh, uh, um, uh, um, what's his name, Amber Rose, and Josie Phillips. A lot of people that he had give opportunity to, because a lot of people think, oh, my hard work got no. Cosby kicked open a lot of doors. Do you think Kenan Thompson them would have been able to get a show at Fox if Cosby didn't kick open some doors? Fuck no. You think Red Fox show Sanford Summer got on TV? Fuck no. Because Cosby had already got on TV and showed that you can make money off of black comedy. It's just that they had different versions of their comedy. Richard Pryor had even admitted that he wanted to copy out Cosby. The copy said, be yourself. Now his widow, she talks all that shit now. But it's interviews what Richard gave where he gave respect to Cosby. But see, instead of us going out doing due diligence and doing our research, we go by the last thing he said. But D.L. Hughley and Wanda Sykes, they take the cake. These motherfuckers are 50-something years old and they still bitching about a negative experience they had with Cosby. But D.L. started this shit with Cosby. D.L. was one of those people that grew up resenting a two-parent household, a stable household, and when the Cosby came on, there was a constant reminder every Thursday. Yeah, Cosby did this. Now, yeah, when Wanda Sykes tried to talk about the show where she's on Larry Wilmore, and she walked up and tried to do a skit with Cosby. Cosby, if you go back and look at that skit, Cosby didn't want nothing to part, didn't want to do it. He shook his head like, don't come over here, don't do it. I don't have anything to do with it. And Wanda still walked up and invaded space and said, Mr. Cosby, I'm on this show, da-da-da. He said, we know how to speak. And something to that effect. And everybody like, ooh. And Wanda like, okay. Yeah, that hurt her feelings. Yeah, but you move on, you get over it. Because he already had warned you, don't come over by him. Yeah, is Cosby arrogant? Yeah. But he has a right to be arrogant. He ain't kicked over all the doors. Quincy Jones the same way. All the motherfuckers are arrogant. Michael Jordan, all of them, Oprah Winfrey, all of them are arrogant. Tyler Perry Lee, all of them are arrogant. But somehow, motherfuckers don't like Cosby. I guess Cosby wasn't keeping them hood or ghetto or whatever negative image we can say or come up with about black folk. Back in the early 90s, if those of you who remember, but those of you who are in diapers or don't know, Russell Simmons came up with a comedy show, Def Comedy Jam. And he wanted to showcase young black talent that otherwise probably be ignored or probably never get to be on TV. But there's a catch. Everybody figured they got to do the impersonation of Richard Pryor. They got tired after a year or two. If somebody would ask Bill Cosby, said, Bill, how do you feel about today's comedy? And they would always play the clip with you're such vulgar. And now you got Bill Cosby, who's in middle age at that time, in his 50s? They asking in his late 50s, so they asking him how he feel about this. He like, what? He said, that's not my thing. And people go back and pay attention. Cosby said, hey, we done worked too hard to get to a point to go backwards. So Cosby ain't feeling cats like D.L. Hughley and them. But instead of D.L. Hughley doing their own thing and taking it on the chin and say, okay, we're not reaching his audience. But see, I agree with Cosby. In the 90s, it was like we was a joke. And look what happened today. Because of this shit we did in the late 80s and 90s, look what we got today. Don't think that the media don't have a part, or these negative images have a part in what's going on in our neighborhood, how people view us. But instead of D.L. Hughley being a man and saying, Bill Cosby don't like my jokers, it is what it is. D.L. been helpful before. He been criticized before. But see, the thing is, D.L. can dish it out. He can't take it. So he sits to this day, yeah, Bill Cosby raped those women. He did that. But you ain't perfect. 1 minute he can sound like he got a head on a good head on his shoulder, but then he fuck it up by calling black folks niggas and bitches. He talk about Flavor Flav looks all the time how dark he is. And I'm saying like, really, DL? But yet you want to pass judgment on Cosby. The other day, Charlamagne the God, D.L. Hughley, and the rest of that staff at the Breakfast Club, they need their ass whooped. One of the Sykes, every black person you gotta do an interview asking about Cosby. Instead of y'all saying, hey, why don't we talk about Stephen Collins? Why don't D.L. them ever bring up Stephen Collins? And D.L. said, well, it's not fair. It's not fair what they do. Wait a minute, did you actually think they was going to treat Harvey Weinstein like they was going to treat Bill Cosby? But see, in the black community, we gave them cover. Ask yourself why in the fuck they never came into the black community and say, excuse me, what do you think about Bill Cosby? During the 4 years this shit went on, not one time they ever came into the community, asked anybody in the community, what do we think about what's going on with Bill Cosby? Not one time. They kept it to black celebrities like D.L. Hughley, and they kept it to black talking heads. Think about it. Since the moment Obama got in office, they stopped coming in our community asking us anything. D.L. Hughley don't speak for me. D.L. Hughley speak for his family. Charlamagne the God speak for his family. And you know it's all the people that the white media criticize and talk about D.L. Hughley and all that got something against him. Michael Eric Dyson sits back, he goes back and forth being two-faced. 1 minute he's pro-black, next minute he's talking, and my father even get tired of him. He's like, why don't this brother just say a simple yes that's going through a whole dictionary? I'm like, that's how he is. He want to impress people that he went and got education. Those are the cats you should be mad at. Bill Cosby opened up doors for our people. And you let white folk and these chip-head black folks set them up. You mean to tell me you believe Janet Dickinson's version of events? All those years, Janet Dickinson never said nothing about Cosby. And then she gonna try to say, I was afraid of Bill Cosby, but you mean to tell me you was more afraid of Bill Cosby and Sylvester Stallone and the rest of them cats? Come on, man. Nah, what happened was you saw it opening. You know, and anybody alive know that if a black person get in trouble and you can see you can get in and they ain't people ask you too many questions, you're gonna join in. And what helped Janet Dickinson is Beverly Johnson, another woman have a questionable past. And when people start asking her questions, she disappeared. You ain't seen Beverly Johnson since, have you? I told y'all way back when I said this ain't right. How can a judge unseal something and change the rules? That boy Dagger Andrew Constance need to pay that money back with interest. Because they broke the agreement. She admitted that she was messing with Cosby. She came on to him. And then there was witnesses that would talk about the character, but the judge didn't want to hear any of that. Every time you turn around, the rules change. Every time they turned around, the rules changed for Cosby. And I kept telling you, I said, if they doing that to him, and he has money to go get lawyers, what's going to happen to us? Kenan Thompson got an opportunity from Cosby. He was the first one out there, besides Hannibal, throwing Cosby on the bus. What's that? Lamont Hill. What's his name? Lamont. What's his name? Not Lamont Hill. Shit. What's that professor? Whatever his name is. I forget his name. The one that was criticizing Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, and she wasn't even dead 24 hours. He was criticizing Cosby. Well, Cosby was talking about the black community. No, he wasn't. Anybody that heard that, and you'd be surprised how many people just regurgitate talking points and never heard that speech in its full. I did. We got to stop defending piss poor behaviors in our community. How can you be pro-black and turn around and call your own brothers and sisters a nigga? How can you turn around and say you pro-black but promote the most negative images of your people? How can you be pro-black and don't know your history or don't use common sense? I hate D.L. Hughley with a passion. D.L. Hughley is in that Sean Hannity section of my head. I'm dead serious. When I put a black person in that zone, I got nothing for you. Hannibal Buress let Judd Apatow write a joke. What did Judd Apatow do? He said we got to destroy Cosby's legacy. We gotta make sure everybody just hate Cosby. But when his friends started getting accused, also he went silent. Faison Love was the only him. He was the only one. There's others out there, but he was the loudest. Him and Eddie Griffin. Sinbad was on TV. He kept asking Sinbad. He said, "I know him." He said, and Sinbad like that don't sound like him. He said, but everybody talking and they taking the stuff away from him, then they give it back. No, it's none of those students giving money back. And you know, if we had any common sense in the black community, those so-called historically black colleges or those colleges that claim to be diverse, we should say, wait a minute, you kept his money, but you took his awards away from you. Y'all hypocrites. I hope those black colleges that took money from Cosby, they shut down. I really do, because I'm sitting here watching the hypocrisy, and I'm sitting here, and I'm glad that there was other YouTubers out here was doing commentaries, and there were white YouTubers and white folks saying that don't sound right. All these years, all these women had the same exact response, and D.L. Hughley can't see that the man was being set up. Nah, but D.L. still butthurt because Cosby didn't like one of his jokes. He don't like my joke. He think he better than everybody. When white folks criticize D.L., D.L. don't say shit. D.L. talk a lot of shit on his radio show. D.L. talk a lot of shit when he around white folk. But then or certain black folk, but I guarantee you, if D.L. came straight in the hood, he wouldn't say half the shit he be saying. He's just like Charles Barkley. Get around certain people that can talk shit. If everybody was so more in love with D.L., why don't this motherfucker got a TV show? Ain't nobody. They gave you a TV show and it's okay, nigga. There you go. You wasn't funny. Everybody else carried you on that show. So what you do? You want to be Mr. Political? You want to be Bill Maher Light? And I'm gonna tell you something. The other day I was watching this clip on Facebook. This was in the '90s. The Image Awards in the '90s. In the category, I guess it was a living single against Martin, but it was against Tisha Campbell. And they showed Erica Alexander when she first started, and they superimposed them like in the audience like they first start, how they struggled. And they showed Kim Coles when she was on Apollo. They showed Kim Fields when she did the Mrs. Butterworth commercial. Y'all remember those old Mrs. Butterworth commercials? And when she's Tootie on The Facts of Life. And they showed Queen Latifah, and they showed Tisha Campbell singing it as a little girl. And they was all embarrassed, or oh my gosh. And then when Eartha Kitt and Sinbad said who won, it was Erica Alexander. Erica Alexander go up there. You know who she think? Bill Cosby. She said, "Mr. Cosby, thanks for giving me my break." If she had issue with Cosby, she never would have said nothing. Remember, the Cosby Show was out there. She hadn't said nothing. She could have said thank you to the fans who live and sing on and went about her business. She did other interviews where she thanked Bill Cosby. So as Cosby get in trouble, she threw him under the bus. You notice Cree Summers ain't said nothing negative about Cosby. I forget her real name. The one that played Kim ain't said nothing about Bill Cosby or Jasmine guy. None of them. Lisa Bonet and Eric Alexander got something negative to say. And Joseph C. Phillips. And the little girl was one of Rudy Friends. She butted in and said something. So all the people that came on the Cosby Show later on and had got a break because Bill Cosby, they turned around on his ass. Overnight, they turned on that man. But to see cats like D.L. Hughley and Charmaine the God and Wanda Sykes and Amber Rose and Michael Eric Dyson and Kenan Thompson still sticking that dagger in them. Kenan Thompson is even worse. He's talking about what jokes they should say towards a white veteran, but you had no problem when he was talking about Kanye or when you did a skit about Bill Cosby, he should just die. And y'all hide behind comedy. Y'all don't get to hide behind comedy. These motherfuckers ain't smart. They mean spirited. Y'all sat back here and let white America get off on it. If y'all really see, that's why I wish Paul Mooney would. I don't know if rumor has it that he's been sick or something. We need a Paul Mooney type out there, or George Carlin, or McCarthy hypocrisies. Here it is. These motherfuckers got an audience, and y'all still ragging on Cosby. The man in jail. More than likely, the system gonna keep him in jail. They want Cosby to die in jail where he can go after his money. And D.L. Hughley, dumbass, don't even see it. That's why I hope to God, he talking about his son and shit. I hope to God either D.L. or his son catch hell. And when he start crying, because D.L. Hughley, he'll cry in a minute. He'll be like, it's racism, man. They did this to my son, man. They did this. And I'm sitting there like, nah, man. Remember, you said Cosby deserves something. Anybody who paid attention to that damn case know that Cosby's fucking got sucked. They're like Michael Jackson. Any black man that got achieved a certain amount of wealth or influence, at some point they got to destroy it. And Eddie Griffin even says they got to take you down. Faison Love, he called out Robert Townsend, and I noticed something. Eric Alexander, Robert Townsend over there on Black Light, and I just shook my head. I was like, you know what? If I didn't like this show, man, I wouldn't watch it again. When I saw Robert Townsend, and Robert Townsend threw Cosby under the bus. Not one black person defended Cosby outright. When Felicia Shaw tried to do it, they lied on her. They basically bullied her. When all the white folks got caught being hypocrites, Linda Carter talked all that shit. Or no, excuse me, she ain't white, she Mexican. Let's get that straight. Julie Chen, Asian. All that time they talk about black men on that show, Cosby and stuff. When they get down to her husband, notice the media don't say shit about Les Moonves and them no more. I told y'all last year, I said they're going to go after Cosby, they're going to go after R. Kelly, and they're going to go after this person. Harvey, how you know? I said, just common sense. Then when they went after Tavis Smiley, like, y'all know they about to go after all of them. When they went after Todd Bridges, I was like, now y'all really going after people. Jamie Foxx, and these Negroes, these brothers they say, wait a minute, hold on, y'all. This is something we need to talk about. Because if you notice, every incident this year when these white women call the police on brothers and sisters, and mostly brothers, they get caught on camera. People say, this is an epidemic. This shit been going on for hundreds of years. Just that we got the technology and proof. So that's why I say, y'all might want to reevaluate y'all Cosby stance. Judd Apatow sat there and he said, we gotta destroy Bill Cosby's legacy. Everywhere he went, he brought Bill Cosby. Everywhere he went, he made sure Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, Seth Meyers, all of them. I even did a video last year. Well, you caught him talking about Harvey Weinstein and Woody Allen. It turned into a Bill Cosby thing, and then they went back and edited. Y'all remember I gotta find that video. I'm gonna repost that because he went back and edited. They edit Cosby name back, and people say, "Why are you so fixated on Cosby?" And to this day, he can't give you. Oh, well, Cosby's supposed to hurt a friend of his. Okay, fine. We get that, but you let the courts deal with it. But when Harold Perneau's daughter said that she was raped by his friend, him and Leah Dunham, and them, they thought, well, women do lie. Wait a minute, all of a sudden, when black women claim rape, women do lie. That's why I'm pissed off at DL. You sitting and tell me, man, you mad at Cosby incident Cosby years ago. I can see if Cosby raped DL's wife or somebody or did something close to DL and he knew about it and he couldn't prove it. I get that. But you just bought these women stories, hook, line, and sinker, and they always had a different story. And the media has not gone after these white men who've been accused like they gone after the black guys. Where Harvey Weinstein, they don't even talk about him. Where's all those victims at? Did they do an expose? They put all the people on the cover? No. There was a racial bias there. And we in the black community say, wait a minute, hold on. Look, I may not be a fan of Bill Cosby, but come on, due process. D.L. Hughley was defending, he said, he defended that Indian comic. He said, the Me Too it's not balanced. You defending a foreigner that said man talk much shit about black people in his comedy routine, but the guy that opened doors for y'all attacked. Judd Apatow, they didn't come to find that Judd wrote that joke that Hannibal told about Cosby. Hannibal, really? But then again, Hannibal got rewarded. Samsung commercials, he popping up in movies everywhere. Y'all be throwing shade at Kevin Hart. You should be throwing shade at Hannibal. How did a motherfucker that nobody barely knew all of a sudden start getting? It's obvious. Because they said, Hannibal, you guys can do this. We got to destroy Cosby. It's time to separate the old man from his money. Cosby helped get movies made. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't even know about a Melvin Van Peebles, let alone his son. Because Melvin Van Peebles, if Melvin Van Peebles didn't have the money to get his movie made, Sweet Badass Song, no way would it influence his son Mario or Mario, depending on however you want to pronounce it. Influence him. We would never had New Jack City. We would never had Panther. Spike Lee would have never had been and got Malcolm X finished. It wasn't with him making a call for Bill Cosby, and Cosby put out the call to everybody. That's how powerful Cosby had in the black community. And you got these Negroes that he helped get on TV and bit parts or gave him a job. All of a sudden, yeah, Bill Cosby, this and that. And I'm saying, like, really? But DL, you taking up Judd Apatow slack, huh? Charlamagne the Guy, you just got swept by and you talking shit. Ask yourself, folks, why don't they talk to the average folks in the black community about this whole Bill Cosby thing? Because a lot of black folks say, don't y'all see what's going on? Even some brothers and sisters at first were saying, man, Harvey, you used to defend him. And I said, y'all need to go pay attention. And someone went back and started saying, Harvey, I didn't know this was going on. I didn't know they did this. I didn't know they changed this rule. And I said, I told y'all. From the start, I said something that smelled right about this. The media gave Lisa Bloom a pass when she was Harvey Weinstein's lawyer and was going to go after the women that accused Harvey Weinstein. No follow-up, no nothing. They just let her get away with it. They said, Lisa, it looked kind of bad for you to defend Harvey Weinstein and you're going after Cosby. And she gave a whole different set of reasons. I'm like, wait a minute, why did Weinstein get a pass and Cosby don't? I know Harvey Weinstein, but you don't know Bill Cosby, but you out there said all kinds of disparaging shit about him. And then black folk didn't say, wait a minute. And Howard said, wait a minute, why is it always Lisa Bloom and Gloria Allred going after black men? I mean, think about that shit for a second. Stephen Collins admitted to messing around with little girls. No jail time, no nothing. Did they go to Jessica Biel and say, Jessica, how was working with Stephen Collins? Did anybody ask Justin Timberlake, yo, man, your wife worked with him. Do you think he did anything to your wife? Oh, that's right. Justin Timberlake, he disrespected Janet, helped destroy her career, but he still got a career. Black women, did y'all say protest Justin, but y'all going after R. Kelly. He had his day in court, found not guilty. That's not good enough for white women or white men. They go get these self-hating black folk that hate themselves or hate they associate with the black community, and they go out there and do their dirty work. Like I said, y'all didn't. Lisa Bloom got away with murder. They changed laws. I didn't see not one person do the shit they did to Cosby do to any of these other cats. And I don't expect them to do it, but the point is that we in the black community just said, wait a goddamn minute. Any of them schools, especially the historically black colleges, ought to be ashamed of themselves. That African American museum, even before it opened, they were saying, you guys got to change the exhibit for Cosby. You need to mention white women was yelling about how you gonna tell a museum, a black museum, they need to change the Cosby exhibit. And they did it. That's why them motherfuckers, I would never go visit that museum. I remember me and my father was talking, he said, why don't we take a family trip? Nah, Dad, I ain't going there. The black stuntsmen, they threw Cosby under the bus. I had a drill sergeant say, and when I was in the Army, he said, if you're scared, say you're scared. If you that scared of white folk, just admit it. But every time you turn around, they asking you a question about Cosby, and you got Negroes saying, "Yeah, he did it. He did it." I can't wait till D.L. Hughley's son get fucked up or get in trouble. And he gonna be on TV. Yeah, look what he did to my son. The way he did to my son. I said, nah, D.L., your son was guilty. Or if D.L. Hughley get accused of something, I'm like, ha ha. God, I'm gonna take so much pleasure in that. Charlamagne and God, you went out there and made you and Trevor Noah made Tommy Lauren a household name. Cause y'all was trying to get enough panties. But y'all they're talking about Bill Cosby. Y'all rotten motherfuckers, man.